You'd think after living in an RV full-time for 8 years now, I'd have this whole thing figured out. Spoiler, I do not. In fact, I'm still out here making rookie mistakes, like gold level Olympic tier stupidity. And so today, I'm exposing my silly failures and sharing with you guys the 9 dumb RVing mistakes I still make, even though I absolutely should know better by now. The first dumb RVing mistake I still make is committing the cardinal sin of arriving at your new campsite at night. No matter how hard I try, sometimes things just don't work out. The timing doesn't work out. It takes me longer than expected to get from my old campsite to my new campsite, and I get there at night. It's bad enough to arrive at an RV park or an established campground at night for just all of the reasons that you can think of. But when you camp the way I do, which is boondocking and dry camping out in the national forests or on BLM land, where you have virtually zero information about the campsite you're going to other than the GPS coordinates, it just compounds all of those problems so much more. So what I've learned to do over the years is if I found that I'm about to make this mistake, I just don't even try to drive in at night. I'll arrive kind of at the border to the national forest and I'll just find a spot to overnight at and then wait till morning to then drive down the lonely forest road to my boondocking campsite under the light of day when it's just going to be much easier to find and much easier to set up camp. The next mistake I know is a super common one. We've all been there. Traveling all day, our minds are fried, we've gotten the whole campsite set up, and we go inside and we open either the refrigerator or the medicine cabinet a little too quickly and everything just comes falling out that has gotten jumbled up and thrown around while traveling. I'm not gonna lie, I do this almost every single time I stop at my campsite for the night, or even if I'm just overnighting at a truck stop or something, I seem to always forget. I open up my fridge and just like salsa bottles fall out or whatever, or my medicine cabinet, all this crap just falls out. And every single time I'm just like, how do I keep forgetting this? Another RVing mistake that I used to make all the time when I first started traveling, but I've gotten a lot better at, is paying attention to the weather forecast. And this is critical because, you know, when you're boondocking out in the national forest or out in the desert, weather really matters because those forest roads or the sandy or dirt roads that lead out into the desert can just turn to soup and become impassable if it rains a lot. Also, temperature is really important to me since, you know, I'm living off-grid most of the time off of solar. I don't have electrical hookups, and so if it's too hot, I can't really turn my air conditioner on, and if it's too cold, then I'm gonna be burning through tons of propane because we all know these things aren't insulated very well. And so, yeah, paying attention to the weather is critical. Don't make that mistake. And this next mistake, I don't give myself too much grief for doing because it's in the bathroom behind a door, and so it's just easy to forget that I leave my Max fan lid all up overnight on cold nights. I cook dinner almost every night and I use my Max fan to help ventilate while I'm cooking, and then going into the evening I just forget and leave it open, and then I wake up the next morning and wonder, why am I out of propane? Well, it's because my furnace has been running all night because I have this huge hole in my roof just letting out all that hot air. So yeah, this one is frustrating because yeah, it makes me burn a lot more propane and waste money because of that, but also it's just an easy thing to forget. Now, something that's definitely not a mistake is starting each of my mornings with today's sponsor, AG1. AG1 is the daily health drink that combines your multivitamin with your pre and probiotics, superfoods, and antioxidants into one simple green scoop. It's one of the easiest things you can do to support your body each day. This time of year, it's more important than ever to be proactive about supporting your immune health. AG1 makes me feel more confident knowing that I'm giving my body's immune system the daily support it needs. I drink AG1 first thing in the morning to kickstart my day with the energy, nutrient, and gut health benefits that just one scoop dropped into 8 to 12 ounces of cold water provides, which is whole body health support from over 75 vitamins, minerals, probiotics, and whole food sourced ingredients. And the original flavor tastes great too. So go to drinkag1.com/fadeunbound or scan the QR code to claim your free welcome kit. You'll get a bottle of vitamin D3, K2, a shaker bottle, and a sample pack of all 3 new AG1 flavors. Thanks to AG1 for sponsoring this video, and now back to my dumb RV mistakes. Sometimes when I'm cooking though, I forget to open my windows up and turn my max fan on, which can result in another mistake, and that is setting off my smoke alarm. You fellow RVers know the smoke detectors they put in these things are insanely sensitive. You can light a candle with the windows closed, put it anywhere in the rig, and there's a chance you'll set off these smoke detectors. Boiling water with the windows closed, that thing's going off. And it's always so startling. It freaks me out, it freaks Sweetie out, she starts barking, I rush over to the smoke alarm, push the button to silence it. But again, I don't feel too bad about this one either because I know it's happened to you too. Another big and totally avoidable RVing mistake I make is always underestimating how long it's gonna take to pack this thing up, break down camp, and actually get out of the campsite on travel days. All too often in my early days of travel, I wouldn't really do any preparation to travel the night before, and I would do everything the next morning, and I'm like, yeah, I could definitely break down this travel trailer and everything inside of it, hook it up to my truck, and get out of the campsite in, 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, and then it ends up taking over an hour because travel trailers are just a lot of work when you've got to break down camp. And so my tip to you guys is do as much as you can the night before. It makes waking up the next morning and hitting the road so much easier. And that's what I do almost every time now. The night before, I'll raise up my stabilizers, I will hook my truck up to the trailer, and I will break down as much as I can on the inside and prepare the inside ready for travel so that the next morning, all I have to do is just about 5, maybe 10 minutes worth of work and then hit the road. Another silly RVing mistake that I make all too often, and I always feel really dumb about, is forgetting to open up both propane tanks when I get to a site, and I only open one up, and then after about a week or so, when all of my propane in that tank is burned away, I'll wake up in the middle of the night freezing because my furnace has no propane to heat the inside of the trailer with, and I'll wonder, what the heck? Why is it so cold in here? And then, oh, of course, I probably only opened up one propane tank, and so then I gotta go outside in the middle of the night, open up a tank, come back in, turn the furnace back on, and then heat the inside of the trailer back up. But oh, does it always feel good when the inside gets nice and toasty again. And another RVing mistake I'll make from time to time is forgetting to wash all of the dishes and leaving them in the sink just before a travel day. And what this will result in is when driving down the road, the dishes in the sink will just slam all together and some can get damaged. I've had some nice skillets, pots and pans get damaged to their cooking surfaces or the outside paint on them getting scratched, and that always hurts. So I just a couple years ago bought a new set, and I'm really careful about always having my nice pots and pans washed before traveling. And speaking of the sink, check out how far along we've come on the kitchen renovation project in my RV. We've got the countertops cut and the sink placed in the countertop also. Man, this is coming along nice and is looking really good. And then the last RVing mistake I still constantly make is misplacing the remote control to the TV I installed earlier here in my bedroom. I always tell myself that I'm gonna make a little mount on my cabinets there just to drop my TV in, or my remote in, something to hold the remote so it has a home, a place that it will always be in. But instead, I just drop it on the bed or something. It gets lost in the bed sheets, or I inexplicably take it to the other side of my travel trailer or into the bathroom, despite the TV being right here on the wall. I don't know, it's just, we're strange. Humans are strange creatures. And I know that this isn't necessarily an RVing mistake. It's just a life mistake, misplacing remotes and such. But to me, it feels like an RVing mistake because it's in my RV, my little home on wheels. But that's it, you guys. That's my list of 9 dumb RVing mistakes that I still make despite being a full-time RVer for over 8 years. I hope you guys found this list funny and maybe relatable too. I tried to include a lot of things that I know that fellow RVers do all the time too. You know, when you get around the campfire with a bunch of fellow RVers, you know, you laugh about these stupid things that everyone does. But if you like the video and you'd like to buy me a coffee or a drink, then you can go through that QR code right there, and I'll also put a link to that down in the description below. But if you want to support the channel in ways that don't cost you any money, then please consider subscribing, like the video, or tell a friend about it. But my name's David, her name is Sweetie, this is Fate Unbound, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye! Good girl, good girl. In fact,